Hey ladies, Britt here. I want to share something with you that took me 2 decades or more to figure out. The reason your income hasn't moved, it's not your strategy. It's not your work ethic. And it's definitely not God holding you back. He doesn't want you to be held back. It could be 3 beliefs that most Christian women carry without ever even questioning them, like I did. And I had all 3. And they kept me stuck for years. So today I'm going to walk you through exactly what they are, how to find them in your own story, and what actually changes when you let them go. So stick with me to the end because that 3rd one is the one nobody talks about. And it's probably the one keeping you stuck right now. And before I break these down, I need to tell you something. When I was 17 and headed out of my small, cocoonish, beautiful hometown, to head up the California coast to start my first year in college, I drove through a part of town I'd never driven through before. And I saw a man on the street with a bag, no sign, and 1 leg. Obviously hadn't showered in a very long time. And he was there begging. And I remember saying in my heart, why do I deserve to have anything? Everyone should be able to at least have a roof over their house, to not know hunger. I'd never known hunger. And that shook me. And as I drove up the California coast in my new Honda Accord that my father had given me to go start school in, what I remember was feeling shame. I felt this shame of, why me? Why do I deserve anything? So at this point in my life, after dealing with that shame, because as Brene Brown says, shame will not get you anywhere. It was something I actually had to look at and heal. One of my missions became to be abundant enough to be able to give to others, like the Proverbs 31 woman in the Bible. Now, at that time in my life, I wasn't really following the Lord like I am now. He wasn't my everything like he is now. And I went through a period of confusion. And why do I share all this? Well, I still can remember driving past that person and throwing out a prayer or well wishes, and the cash that I had just been given to last me through my first month came right out of my wallet and into that guy's hands. Well, that didn't do him any good. Who knows, Maybe he didn't buy food with it. Maybe he bought drugs with it. I don't know. What I do know is it put something inside of me to want to be abundant enough to give. And the Lord tells us all about the Proverbs 31 woman. And she's not someone that's ashamed to have wealth. She's someone that stewards wealth well to be able to bless others. And that's what I want for you. And if that's something you want to, stick with me. So that story I just shared with you, that moment in Palo Alto, California in 1981, that moment planted something in me. And I didn't even know it was growing. And if that story hit something in you, if you've got your own version of that type of moment where something made such an impact on you, it affected your identity, I hope you'll come share it with us in Abundant Destiny, which is our free community. You can find the link below. Because here's what I know now. You can't heal what you won't name. So, sister, belief number 1. This is the loudest one. Wanting more money means you're not content with what God has already given you. Hey, I carried that false belief for so long. But here's what I want you to see. That's not contentment. That's a misinterpretation of Scripture. Paul said he learned to be content in every circumstance. Okay, great. Whether he had plenty or whether he had next to nothing. Contentment, it's an internal state. It's not a ceiling on your calling. God didn't give you a vision that requires resources and then wire you to feel guilty about it for wanting those resources. That's not the Father I know. Belief number 2, money changes people. Well, it does change some people. But that belief of if I stay small, I'll be kept safe and I won't turn into one of those changed people. Now, generally people think it means they changed for the worse, like they're selfish or egotistical or mean. I hear this constantly from women in my community. And here's the truth. Money doesn't change people. Money actually reveals people. It makes you more of who you already are. Zig Ziglar, one of my beloved mentors, used to say. Money's a magnifying glass. If you're generous with a little, you'll be generous with a lot. And if you're controlling with a little, you'll be controlling with a lot. And the money doesn't make you who you are. Let's face it, it just shows you who you already are. And if you're afraid of what money might reveal about you, well, sister, the work isn't to avoid the money. The work is to become the woman who can steward it before it shows up. And we do a lot of that in Abundant Destiny. Belief number 3. This is the one that got me. It's more spiritual to struggle than it is to be wealthy and steward well. This one kept me in a prison I didn't even know I was in. I believed that if I kept sabotaging my success, and obviously I wasn't doing this consciously, but barely getting by meant that maybe I was depending on God more. Well, that abundance was worldly and lack was righteous was somehow a belief that kept me stuck. And let me ask you something. If you had a daughter, would you want her to barely scrape by so she'd depend on you more? Or would you want her to thrive? God's a better father than you or I could ever be. And he's not keeping you small so you'll need him more. I encourage you to go read the parable of the talents. The master didn't praise the servant who buried his talent, which is money, because he was afraid. He called him wicked and lazy, and he rewarded the ones who actually multiplied what they were given. So good stewardship, sister, it multiplies, doesn't hide. So here's what I want you to do right now. Grab something to write with and write down this. Where did I learn one of these beliefs? Maybe more than one. Was it a specific person, a specific moment for you, a specific sermon? And then ask yourself, is this actually true? Or did I just inherit this belief? And then sit with yourself. Ask the Lord to reveal what needs to be seen. And the audit, this will only take you about 5 minutes, but it will show you things about your money story that you may have never seen. Why does this matter? Well, when I do this work, when I actually sat down and examined what I believed about money and where those beliefs came from, everything shifted for me. Women in my community have doubled their revenue just by cleaning out these 3 beliefs. Not with a new fancy strategy, not by working harder, but by changing what they believed was possible for them as a Christian woman. Because you will never out-earn your beliefs about money. Your beliefs actually set the ceiling. And if your ceiling says wanting more is greedy or struggling is spiritual, your income will always prove you right. I built Abundant Destiny for this exact reason. It's our free community where we do this work together. And I'll help you walk through the audit step by step. Links in the description below. Comment audit and I'll send it straight to you. And here's what I want you to remember. Your financial expansion, it's not a threat to your faith. It's actually evidence of your stewardship. And God called you to be a good steward of all the kingdom and domain he's blessed you with, whatever that is. An apartment, a car, a wardrobe, your grandma's pearls you inherited, whatever it is, it's stewardship. So let's grow what you're given to steward. And you didn't get here by accident, let's face it. And the woman that God is calling you to become, she's not broke. She is not afraid, and she's definitely not hiding. So do the audit. Come join us. Come find us. And if no one told you today, sister, just remember, you are beloved.